hello again, everybody. And for those who are watching the YouTube video, thank you for watching our YouTube videos. We prepare a YouTube video of every Sunday teaching we have for 2.5 years, and they're lovingly prepared by our wonderful iMovie expert, Reverend Kelly Halleck, our assistant minister, who now lives in an island in Puget Sound.
How convenient.
How blessed of her. It's an island. Some people have to live there. She told me there's less than 1,000 people year-round population, but right now it's the summer and there's like 2,000 plus people there. So, hi Reverend Kelly, if you're watching, I guess you will be watching because you'll be editing the video. We're thinking of you, and we're blessed for the work that you do.
And we're jealous and we're on our way.
We're blessed with the work. And also, hello to everybody who's watching the live stream. We're experimenting with live streaming. Didn't work on the website, but I see it there on the YouTube. So if you went to YouTube, the live stream is definitely happening. So that's amazing, and I really want to thank Garrick for all the work he's done to figure all that out. And everybody on ACIM Gather, thank you for being here and joining with us. We're just finding as many ways as possible to get the message out there and get our ministry out there. Okay, it's July 1st, second half of the year. My talk today is fulfilling our special function.
Woohoo!
I do want to just preface everything I'm going to say because this comes up from time to time. When I speak, any time, but certainly when I speak here for a Sunday gathering, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm not speaking necessarily as a representative of Community Miracle Center. I mean, we're all representatives of Community Miracle Center when we speak. But we don't have a dogmatic doctrine here. Everybody has the right to think about A Course in Miracles the way that they think about it. We're a home to a million different interpretations of A Course in Miracles if we have a million different people who connect with us. Everybody is entitled to their own interpretation. These are my interpretations. You know, take them in, try them on, you know, wear them for a while if they seem to fit, or take them off and don't wear them. I don't care. But that's what we all do here. So I definitely want to put that out there.
Yeah, like Reverend Tony, take it off.
Yeah, take it off. Well, I did that in Las Vegas. We know how well that worked.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So this whole idea of special function came to mind this week. For one, because we put out our latest issue of Miracles Monthly this week. It's this issue I've got right here in my hand. It's got a wonderful talk there. It was Reverend Vincent's talk from May 13th. And this went out, and I really want to thank Reverend Deuce Althea and Garrick for Friday. We got it out there. We were a little pressed for time. But we made it. We got to the General Mail facility down near the Candlestick Park area and got it there, and I still managed to get back in time to my room to do my ACIM Gather program at 5 o'clock. I think I was just a minute or two late. So it all happened. And I was just thinking about basically the awesomeness of the achievement of Miracles Monthly, because that is actually our 376th issue of Miracles Monthly. That's 376 issues in 376 months. So we put out an issue every month since we started in March of 1987. And that's, you know, it's an amazing thing to dedicate yourself to and to accomplish. And I really do think it's part of my special function, or certainly part of the special function of the Community Miracle Center, that we have embraced this mission and we do everything in our power to get it out. I have a lot of help. Reverend Kelly is doing a lot to transcribe the articles and put the basic file together. Got Reverend Marilyn, who helps with the proofreading. So, I mean, it's really a team effort. And of course, there's an expense with putting it out. And I really want to thank all of our supporting members and everybody who contributes money to Community Miracle Center, because it helps us do things like put out Miracles Monthly. And I know that the people who get Miracles Monthly and our members really appreciate getting that in the mail every month. So that's part of our special function. So I started thinking about special function. Another thing that came up for me to think about this week, and that is this idea that A Course in Miracles is part is one form of a universal curriculum, and that gets chatted about quite a bit. And there is actually a quotation from A Course in Miracles where it says that. It's in the teacher's manual, and it says, they were chosen for him, it's talking about students being chosen for the teacher, because of the form of the universal curriculum that he will teach is best for them in view of their level of understanding. So people like to talk about A Course in Miracles as being another form of the universal curriculum. And that is true. There is a universal curriculum, and you will find it at the heart of all the great world's religions and spiritualities. And I do want to point out, though, that the quotation is actually a little bit more on the emphasis of the form, not the universal curriculum. It says they were chosen for him because of the form of the universal curriculum. So, while A Course in Miracles definitely is a universal curriculum, I do think it's part of the special function of me and the Community Miracles Center to really focus in on the form. Like, A Course in Miracles is a particular form of a universal curriculum, and I want to know what this form says, and I want to know how to practice this particular form. I actually don't think you can talk that much about the universal curriculum because it's beyond words. But at the level of words, there is a form, and this form has particular thoughts, particular ideas, and particular practices. And I believe it's my special function to feel those and teach those and focus on those. I actually like to focus on the little things that A Course in Miracles has in it that are unique, that I don't see in a lot of other spiritual disciplines. And for me, since I have connected to A Course in Miracles, I would assume that those unique things must be really important for me. It must be really important for my salvation and for my healing. A Course in Miracles also says, this is in the clarification of terms, which you can only get in the FIP edition. No, you can get it in the New Circle of Atonement edition too. It says a universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. So we're all going for a universal experience, but we're never going to come up with a universal theology. Even common denominator ideas to talk about it, it's going to be difficult. So I don't try to do that. I just try, it's my special function, to talk about the particular form that we study A Course in Miracles, and sometimes the particular unique ideas that this form has. So one of the unique ideas that this form has is this idea of a special function. That everybody has a particular special function. And it's a special function that we play in salvation. And that it is important. And it's important for us to realize our special function and to have some connection with that and to do our part. Here's one quote. It says, "To each he gives a special function in salvation he alone can fill, apart for only him. Nor is the plan complete until he finds his special function and fulfills the part assigned to him to make himself complete within a world where incompletion rules." So this is a very unique idea. That's that each and every one of us has a unique part to play in the atonement, in the whole reparation of the separation, in the healing. And that everybody's part is equally important. So Jesus' part was definitely important, but the part that we play is just as important as Jesus' part, because nobody else can play our part. And the whole isn't going to be complete until we play our part. And so this awesomeness of a responsibility to rise up and to assume our special function and to actually do it to the best of our ability is really, truly important and a very critical key idea, I believe, in A Course in Miracles. And I don't find it quite stated that way in other spiritual disciplines. So I like that. Okay, so Community Miracle Center, Reverend Tony Ponticello, you know, it's been our special function to produce this thing. You know, nobody else could have done it. The Community Miracle Center is doing it, I have been around while we're doing it, and certainly, have been a large part of making sure that it gets done. And it was the part for us to do, and it was the part for me to do. And that hit me this week when we were doing it, and I really, I just like calculated, well, how many issues is this now? And just the number 376 seemed rather awesome to me. And also for me, I remember that, our organization grew out of another organization that also produced a monthly A Course in Miracles publication, and I had produced 21 of those. So it's actually, even though it's 376 for Community Miracle Center, it's actually 397 for Reverend Tony Ponticello, and I was just humbled by that. I mean, I could have never conceptualized that 33 years ago when we started doing that. And I believe that's been part of my special function. There's another thing, and actually this being the first Sunday in July is interesting too, because on the first Sunday in July in 1986, the predecessor organization to the Community Miracle Center, which was the California Miracles Foundation, held its first Sunday gathering. So this is actually the 32nd anniversary of holding Sunday gatherings. And we have held a Sunday gathering every single Sunday except once. And that one time was when they repainted 2269 Market Street, and the painters assured me that they would have everything cleaned up and we could get back in there to have Sunday gathering, Sunday service, and that didn't happen. And I didn't realize that it really wasn't going to happen until Saturday when I walked up. And it was just, there wasn't time to scramble and find some other place to do. And we just had to cancel that Sunday gathering. So I calculated that's 1,663 Sunday gatherings. I mean, that's just, in my mind, that's just like an awesome number to think about. And that we have actually done that the Community Miracle Center has done that. And I can't imagine any other, I mean, that was our special function. That was that unique part for us to play. It was given us, and we have done it because nobody else was going to do that. We did that. We do that. We have been here for local and now global A Course in Miracles people to have a way to gather and celebrate and reinforce ideas on Sunday for 1,663 Sundays. And I just think it's kind of awesome. I'm just sitting in the awesomeness of special function fulfilled. Course in Miracles says this, and we ran across this week in the workbook lessons, and it was particularly significant for me. And this is Jesus talking to us. And this is in the introduction to review number 5. And Jesus tells us this: "You are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands, through which I save the world." So let's just think about it. And I want all of those out there who think that A Course in Miracles is sort of a body negating discipline to actually just take this in, because this ain't negating no body here. Okay, you are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands, through which I save the world. Jesus is using our bodies. He wants to use our bodies. We need to surrender our bodies and all the things that our bodies can do. The bodies associated with Community Miracle Center have put on Sunday gatherings, have published miracles monthly, and put on conferences and all the other amazing, wonderful things that we do. And we do that with our bodies. We do that with our voice and our eyes and our feet and our hands and all the resources that we have. We surrender them to Jesus and allow ourselves to really be used in a blissful act of surrender. And I know a lot of people have trouble with the idea of surrender. And it actually isn't in A Course in Miracles term. So find some other way to conceptualize it. But it does really mean just turning our lives over and allow our lives and our bodies to be used for a divine purpose. And it actually says that's how our bodies are sanctified and healed and made holy, is when we do that. In fact, that's the only way that our bodies are sanctified, healed, blessed, and made holy, is when we turn them over to be used for a divine purpose. And I like just that little mention there of hands. And there's several mentions in A Course in Miracles about letting Jesus use our hands. And I think there's a rich tradition in Christianity in particular, but in many spiritual disciplines, of using hands to heal. As a matter of fact, if you look at the image on your program, it's a great image of somebody doing a little hands-on healing. Two brothers together there doing a hands-on healing. And, that's body involvement. And I see a lot of A Course in Miracles students being a little nervous about anything that has to do with the body, because the body isn't supposed to be who we are, and so we're supposed to step away from that illusion, and they get a little confused. So yeah, the body isn't who we are, but it is part of our experience here in this world, and it's a fine experience to have, especially if we turn it over to the Holy Spirit or to Jesus to use. If we do that, then we will have a blessed experience of our bodies, and our bodies are going to be truly used to be blessing others, and that's why our own bodies will be blessed. So I think that's also a key issue to just always stay aware of in terms of healing, that we are healed as we heal others, as we extend healing, as we allow ourselves to be used, as we really embrace our special function and do what Holy Spirit, what Jesus, what the divine is guiding us to do. Another quote about the special function. It says, "The Holy Spirit needs your special function that His may be fulfilled. Think not you lack a special value here. You wanted it, and it was given you. All that you made can serve salvation easily and well." So we wanted to be special, we wanted to be different, and that was the problem. But the Holy Spirit has a way of using all those things. Even though we may have manifested that to reinforce separation, the Holy Spirit has a better use for it. So the Holy Spirit takes our desire to be special and gives us a special part to play in the salvation of the Holy Child of God and in our own salvation. So, yeah, we let go of specialness from an egoic standpoint, and we embrace specialness from a truly divine standpoint. And that is healing for us and for all. This past week, the Community Miracle Center officially launched the Power to Heal Conference, the one that we're having next year in Boston on Memorial Day. So it's officially launched, which means all the web work is done, and the enrollment forms are done and working. Reverend Kelly produced a tremendous promotional video. That's all done and on our website, and everything is complete. We've notified everybody. And I got the stats from Reverend Kelly, and we actually already have 354 tickets sold for that event. Now, I know that this early in the game, a number of people who have those tickets, might not come, and so, that all 354 are probably not going to end up in Boston, but still, that's an incredible number of people. And this is the 9th international conference that Community Miracle Center has been guided to put together. And again, that is our special function. And actually, for all of you who join with Community Miracle Center, in whatever way you do it, maybe you're a member, which is terrific. Maybe you're part of the healing team, which is amazing. And maybe you join us by logging in to ACIM Gather, or watching a YouTube video, or watching the live stream. Your energy becomes part of the energy that is Community Miracle Center, and our special functions then are your special functions as well. You're sharing those functions with us. Miracles Monthly, the Sunday gatherings, the conference, all the things that we do. By your joining with us, you then share that special function. It's your special function as well. Take it in. Take it in a little bit. you've accomplished all these things with us. Now I know that in terms of taking classes or coming to our groups, coming to a Sunday gathering, the first thing people think about probably is, I'm going to go there because I will benefit. It'll be good for me to go. I'll get a blessing. And I think that's terrific. That's what usually brings everybody. But there comes a time when you shift that and you start going, not necessarily so that you get a benefit. Of course, you're going to get a benefit, but you actually come to give a benefit, to the other people who come. I always get a blessing from everybody who shows up, or from everybody that listens to a video, or participates in whatever way. And yeah, I get a blessing, but I come here to give the blessing. And when we can really shift into that idea of doing it in order to give a blessing, I think that's when we again have shifted somewhat into our special function. That we're not doing it selfishly. We're not doing it for a selfish reason, which is fine. We're doing it for a selfless reason. We're doing it for others. And that changes the energy. That's the Holy Spirit using us. That's the Holy Spirit using our voice and our eyes and our feet and our hands. Think again of that rich tradition of hands-on healing, about touching somebody to heal them. And look how instinctive it is. When somebody is hurting, we just reach out to them. And there's part of our minds that just knows that is healing. And yet I still see A Course in Miracles students a little afraid to do that, because it's this body identification thing, and they think that they're not supposed to be body identified. I'd like us to challenge that and get over it. I think there's a rich tradition of touching as healing, and I think that is part of our special function. So this idea of special function, and how especially the A Course in Miracles hit on it, which is that our special function is as important as anybody's, as important even as Jesus's, and that the whole won't be complete until we do what is given us to do. That, yes, we're studying a particular form of a universal curriculum, but I want to focus a little bit on the form part, because you can't really talk about the universal curriculum. But the form part is special function, unique things to do with our bodies, with our voice, with our eyes, with our ears, and with our hands as well. And with all the resources that we have, which means our money as well. So I encourage all of you to keep coming. Come not just for yourself, come for the blessing that you're going to give to all of us, and surrender your life to the divine. When you do that, you will live your special function, and you will receive the blessing as you give the blessing. That's it for today. Thank you very much.